Hey there to our 234 subscribers, our future subscribers, and all the people that secretly watch us without subscribing. I decided I wanted to try something different today that I haven't done before, and that's reading Reddit posts. And I'm reading them from Redditor, what was it? Best Redditor Updates. Wait, something like that. Oh my gosh, I've already forgotten what it's called. Best of Redditor Updates. Sorry about that. And I chose that one because what's the point of reading a story if you don't know the outcome? So let's see if I can bring one up and see what it says. So the first one says, "Am I the asshole for refusing a DNA test?" Originally posted by Working Weight 8014 on October 28th, 2025, and updated November 11th, 2025. So the original title was, "Am I the asshole for refusing to help my cousin prove that we share the same father?" So it says, "Throwaway account. Based on the title, you can tell that my family situation is pretty crazy. I, 21 female, am technically a revenge affair baby. My dad, 47 male, was married to my aunt, 45 female, who was cheating on him with my mom's 42 female, then husband James, 42 male." I'm already lost, but I will keep on reading for those of you that are not lost. I'm not sure about all the details. I honestly don't really care to ask because yuck. But during their mutual divorces, my dad and my mom had a fling which produced me. There was DNA test, and after I was proven to be my dad's, he happily claimed me and signed the birth certificate. He didn't sign my cousin's, Amanda, 21 female birth certificate, and went back to his other country. My dad has dual citizenship to avoid child support for her. Since she was born while my aunt was still his legally wife, he was presumed to be the father, and James took off. Because of all the drama, my mom and I were estranged from my aunt and Amanda, so my aunt and Amanda thought for years that my dad had abandoned me too, when in reality I took regular trips to see my dad in his mother's country, met most of his relatives, and could even speak the language at a high intermediate level. My mom made it clear that I was free to seek out a relationship with Amanda once I was old enough to drive, but warned me that there could be drama. I tried reaching out at 17, but she acted like she was so much better because she grew up in a two-parent household. My aunt remarried while it was just me and my mom, and I washed my hands of it. We never followed each other on social media, and I never told my mom's side of the family about my other social media platforms. So I was able to keep my relationship with my father private until I guess Amanda or someone Amanda knew saw a picture of me with one of my paternal cousins online, and it set everything in motion. I didn't want to put in or maintain the effort to lie, so I made a long text message and sent it to a group chat with several members of my mom's family. Since my mom and my aunt's respective marriages were a taboo topic, there was a firm "don't talk about it" mindset. So a lot of people just assumed my mom was doing it all on her own, when really my dad was sending child support and having a relationship with me. Amanda and my aunt are now demanding that I give them my dad's contact information, his address in the country that he's in, and do a DNA test to prove that we're siblings, and then take it to my dad. But here's the thing. Amanda was formally adopted by her stepdad when she was 17. I don't like the idea of my giving my genetic information to a private company unless absolutely needed. There's nothing stopping her from doing something like 23andMe to match with my paternal side. My dad's side of the family knows about Amanda, and they don't seem interested in knowing her. Amanda's still being petty it's being pretty awful to me, so I don't feel like doing anything to help her. So knowing all of this, am I the asshole? So one comment says, you don't owe Amanda anything. Block her and move on with your life. Another person says, not the asshole. Your father knows how to get in touch with his ex and Amanda. If he wants to know if she is his child, he can contact her. Stick to your guns. Another comment says, whatever you do, love, don't spit on her. She's not worth it. She might test it. Not the asshole. And another comment says, simple. Your bodily DNA, your choice. This is not your problem. I am sure you are a good person who wants to do the right thing. Maybe give Amanda's contact info to your dad and let him deal with it. It is his problem, not yours. You shouldn't be in the middle of this situation. And I agree. It's like up to each individual whether they want to participate or not. It's just like I did DNA tests with all of my kids and my mom and me. And then I went to do another company, and my son decided not to participate the second time. I offered to do one for my brother, but he chose not to do it at all. So, and I didn't get mad at them. They can do whatever they want to. They're adults. Anyway, so update 2 weeks later. Hello, just wanted to give a quick update. May give one more depending on how this ends. If it ends. So here it goes. I told my cousin Amanda that she should do the ancestry thing to see who she matches with, and that I'd pass along her info to my dad, and that I was wiping my hands clean of the situation after that before blocking her. I did pass along her contact info to my dad and told him Amanda and his ex-wife, my aunt, their intentions, as well as the news that Amanda was formally adopted after the courts declared that my dad abandoned her. As of right now, my dad has no intention on ever going back to the U.S. for any reason, and as he is a citizen through my grandma. However, he did check with his lawyers, and he basically told me that he'd agree to do a DNA test on the condition that my aunt and Amanda sign a legal document absolving him of any child support he owed before Amanda was legally adopted, and that Amanda will have no claims on any of his property or assets when he passes. My dad has made it clear that he's not overly concerned if Amanda and my aunt don't agree, but would prefer to settle this just in case of potential issues in the future. I also spoke to my paternal grandmother. Paternal grandfather passed away years ago, and she said that she's never liked my aunt, is glad that my dad left her with as little money as possible, and that she can't be expected to love and care for a potential grandchild she's never met. Given that my grandmother didn't even like me until I was about 3, this is in character for her. The rest of my father's maternal side seem to be on the same mindset and will only consider talking to Amanda once she can prove she's related. So I guess that was the end of that. And there were no other updates. That was November. So I'm guessing that nobody followed through with anything and just chose to let it go, I'm assuming. So yeah, let's see. It's 9 minutes. Should we try another one? Let's see what else we got here. Let's look at this one. We'll do one more. I know 2 doesn't seem like a lot, but I'm just figuring this thing out. So this one says, I only want one thing for Christmas, and it never happens. Am I overreacting? The original post was by Dog in Me, December 23rd, 2025. It says, I should start by giving background as to who I am. I am 27 years old. I live about an hour from my hometown, and I visit my folks pretty regularly, but especially for the holidays. Now, I realize I've lost many of you with my age. I understand that in a large number of families, only kids really get Christmas gifts. I don't know why they think that. I like getting gifts for my kids, but anyway, where was I? And you may be right, but in mine, adults gift to adults, kids gift to kids, kids gift to adults, adults gift to kids, everybody gets something. Now, I hate telling people what I want for Christmas. Birthday stuff. It feels entitled. I know. Irony of posting a complaint on Reddit than saying I'm not entitled to ask for stuff. Since I was 12, I didn't want people to get me birthday gifts or throw me a party, and largely my family respected that. But that still left Christmas. Now, when my grandpa was alive, I remember he'd always go to the local European grocery. He was an ethnic Hungarian from Austria, and get a few of those chocolate oranges. The big ones you have to smack on the table before opening to get the pieces to separate. He died back in 2017, and I miss him terribly. And every year when my family asks, what do you want for Christmas, I tell them, one of those chocolate oranges like Papa used to get, and they never do it. Now, I know that sounds super silly. Why don't you just get your own damn orange? I don't know, it just isn't the same somehow. It's a thing I associate with my family just having at home suddenly around Christmas. And I'm chasing that experience, and I know it'll never be the same. But still, I just remember cracking them open with my cousins and walking around the room to all the aunts and uncles going, hey, over here, I'll take a piece, etc. And I just miss that a whole lot. Every year, what do you want for Christmas? Chocolate orange. And every year, no chocolate orange. Literally the only thing I asked for. And I know I shouldn't be upset about it. There are people who don't even get a decent meal on Christmas, let alone presents. But somehow, year after year, I get a few Temu or Five Below things, which will be thrown out pretty much as fast as they came in. And I question, well, why the hell didn't they just get me a damn orange? It would have cost less, been more appreciated, and been consumed only marginally faster than the other junk. It's literally the only thing I asked for. This year, I've got my dad a new seat cover and slow-moving vehicle triangle for his tractor. I got my brother who just started college a used folding bike and replaced the tires, grips, grease the chain, etc. because he doesn't want to bring his bike from home and have it stolen. Got a few jigsaw puzzles for my stepmom. She likes to do them. And a set of Lincoln logs for my cousin's kids. And I'm excited to watch them open the presents I got them, and I'm sure whatever they got me will be great. But I just get so disappointed every year when there is no damn orange. And this is 8 years since Papa died, and well, I don't know. There's nothing really significant about 8 years, but I'm just certain that come Christmas morning, if there's no damn orange, I'm going to lose it. So it says the consensus, people ultimately refrain from evaluation on who is overreacting. So I guess people couldn't decide who was overreacting in the situation. Commenters advise original poster to purchase chocolate oranges for their siblings going forward in order to keep the tradition alive. Or it says nibblings. I don't know if that's a typo. Did they suggest that they get oranges for their nibblings? I don't really know. Update, January 7th, 2026, which is, I don't know, does it say 15 days later, I think? Hello all. Hope everybody had a nice set of holidays and is enjoying the new year. Many of you replied to my previous post regarding my frustration at not receiving a chocolate orange for Christmas. If that sounds stupid, it's because it kind of is, but you can read the original post here for context. Just wanted to update everybody on how it all shook out. Well, my dad and mom both really enjoyed the gifts I got them. My cousin's kids chose my Lincoln Logs gift as the one they wanted to open and play with at the family gathering, over and above a set of small trucks that look like dinosaurs, which all park on a larger dinosaur truck. High praise. My brother, well, he didn't like the bike much, I guess. Mr. Hey, I want to explore the city more. I don't want to bring my bike up in case it gets stolen. Suddenly wasn't so interested in a non-stealable bike he could explore the city on. Later, had the gall to say to us, I just wish I had gotten something practical, as though he hadn't just gotten the most practical thing any college student could have. Anyway, you can't win them all. A few days before Christmas, my folks and I were in Target, and I saw the chocolate oranges. I pointed them out and was met with a, yuck, who likes those? So that was about as fun as you'd imagine. Now, many of you suggested rightly that I just become the relative who brings chocolate oranges for the kids, and so I did. It was really a very food memory-centric celebration this year. I gave the kids the oranges just the way they were. Dark chocolate, orange flavor, kind of gross to the kids, but the sort of thing they came back for more of after a few minutes. Fond memories from the adults. My uncle brought relish sandwiches following what is a relish sandwich? Following a discussion about having fed my dad those when tasked with watching him as a kid. Yep, just white bread with hot dog relish on it. I see. Okay. We had a great time, and I've become the weird relative who brings candy that isn't that great, but which you come to associate with Christmas time forever. As for me, doesn't really matter what I got. A few cans of rust reformer spray on account of my nearly 26-year-old car is a little rusty in places. A tube of Twix bars and a pizza pizzazz from the White Elephant. Just to be clear, those pizza pizzazzes are amazing. I've had 2 of them and wore them out. And they're good for a lot of things, not just pizza. But anyway, I got to see some kids who are going through their parents' divorce's eyes light up when they opened a box I gave them. Got to remember being that young. Got to remember my old grandfather for a little while. All in all, you gave great advice, and I feel quite a bit more at peace with the whole thing. Thank you all for that. And that was it. So that was a good outcome for that one, I guess. It's been 18 minutes. I guess I should probably just stick to the 2 because I don't want to make it like the video too long. So I forgot I wanted to add my 2 cents as far as the Christmas thing, and I just did it, but then I accidentally hit delete instead of save on the video. So when somebody wants something and it's like the only thing they want, especially something so little, just get it for them. Don't buy them a bunch of junk they don't want. I get it. If you find something that you just think they might like, but I always try to get people things that they've asked for, or try to get close to something they've asked for. As a kid growing up, my parents always asked my brother and me, they'd hand us stacks of catalogs, and they'd say, write down everything we want for Christmas. I did do that a few times. Then after a while, I just started writing down one item, just one $20 item, and my parents would spend hundreds of dollars on us, and they never got me that $20 item, and it really upset me because I felt like they didn't care. And then as a teenager, my dad asked me what I wanted, and I had seen this eagle statue at this flea market that I really liked, and I told him I wanted the eagle statue, and he said, which one? And I said, the gray one with the wings down. And he said, well, what if they don't have it? And I said, the brown one with the wings down. And he said, well, what if they don't have that? And I said, the gray one with the wings up. And he said, what if they don't have that? And I said, the brown one with the wings up. And he said, well, what if they don't have that? And I said, a stereo. And so I got my statue, and I had it for a really long time until an ex broke it. I don't think he did it on purpose. I think he's just being careless. Set it down too hard. It had been sitting in a hot car, and because it was in the process of moving, and he set it down pretty hard on the pavement outside, and it just shattered the bottom, which sucked. And he told me he was going to go get me another one that he had checked and they had it or something at the same place, and convinced me to sell the broken one. And I sold the broken one so he could take the money to go buy the new one and put it, with his money, since he broke the old one. And he came back without it. I don't know what he did in that time, but he never went and got it. And I've never been able to find another one like it, so that sucks. But another year, people asked me what I wanted, and I said graph paper. And every single person that asked me, I just told them the same thing. And so I ended up with a big variety of graph paper, which was awesome. And I love graph paper. I love charting things and designing things. So anyway, if you have somebody in your life and all they want is one thing, and especially if it's something cheap like a chocolate orange, get it for them. I mean, especially if it's cheaper than the other things you want to get them, just get them what they ask for. So yeah, and if it's something more expensive and you can't afford it, have everybody get together and buy that one thing, because isn't the whole point of making people happy, making them smile? I mean, that's what I like about it, is just making people happy. So anyway, yeah, that's my addition. So yeah, I'll be inserting this in, and so the ending will be after whatever this is. Or maybe I'll just redo the ending. So yeah, so thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, and get your friends to do the same thing. Bye.